Hey guys, Mike for SimRacing604, and I recently had the chance to review United Racing Design's new Mustang GT3 mod for Assetto Corsa, and it got me thinking about whether this fantastic car fits into my list of the top GT3 cars for Assetto Corsa. In recent years, we've been treated to a long list of excellent GT3 cars to enjoy in AC, but even among this stacked group of race cars, there are standouts. So today, I'm going to be showcasing my top GT3 mods. They aren't listed in any particular order, but these 8 cars are the ones I go back to over and over for a good time. GT3 is arguably overrepresented in sim racing, but with these cars you can understand the mass appeal. These cars are all extremely well detailed, fast, loud, and most importantly they're fun. So I'll be driving each car at my favorite circuit, Interlagos. So let's get the first car out on track and start the showcase. Alright, so starting things off here with the Porsche from Race Sim Studio. Who doesn't love a Porsche? Especially when it's in GT3 form like this. What a car this is. I do admit though that I had a bit of a tough time deciding between the URD version of this car and the RSS version. Both are fantastic. I sort of committed to only doing one version of each GT3 car in this video, but if you have the URD version, you're also in good hands. But this RSS version, absolutely fantastic in its own right. It's loud, it's grippy, it's got some of the, or all, I suppose, of the Porsche characteristics that we expect from a, let's call it a muted rear engine feeling car. It's certainly not the Porsche race cars of old, where, you know, lift off, oversteer, and funny characteristics like that were a big thing. But yeah, it all comes together nicely in this RSS Porsche here, or the Protech as they call it. So coming to the end of our lap here at Interlagos, a little lift back on the throttle as soon as possible, and then just one big corner to go. And then back on the power here, could have been down in second gear, that's fine. Interlagos looking lovely as always. And then just a sprint to the finish now. Hoping to come in somewhere in the mid 1 minute 30s in these cars. They're all running stock setups, so we'll see how we do with that. And that is your RSS Protech, aka the Porsche. And next up, we have the Aston Martin, aka the Arthur Merlin. Yes, a funny name here from United Racing Design as they bring us the Aston Martin Vantage GT3 Evo. And what a car this is. It is truly fantastic. This really made me a believer again in URD. And it's just fantastic. Fits in well with the GT3s from Race Sim Studio as well. So if you're looking to sort of fill out a more modern grid of GT3, this is a great addition. The sounds are fantastic, a real guttural roar, and handling just unbelievably detailed and really nicely put together here from United Racing Design across every facet of this car. It truly is phenomenal and definitely deserving of a spot on my list of the top GT3 cars for Assetto Corsa. So just a few more turns to go here. It looks like we'll be right about at the same pace as the RSS Porsche. Little lift again. We're going to try second gear through the final corner. Sharp brakes there, wow. And yeah, a little bit better in the power band coming out of that final corner. So let's see what we can do here. I actually think this is going to be in the 133, so this is quite a bit faster than the RSS. Perhaps the RSS taking a bit longer to get the tires heated. Let's see where we come in. 133.87. Not that this is a time shootout, but it's just interesting to see the differences between the cars. All right, let's go on to something lesser known, perhaps. Okay, so now we're going back in time a bit. This is the Camaro GT3 from Chem-Flummi. This one is free. Listen to that sound. Wow, it is just a thunderous American GT3 car, and I almost lost it there, but managed to hold on. Huge sounds coming from this Camaro, and it is a blast. Of course, no longer on the GT3 grid, but this was recently, they fired one up at Goodwood. You may have seen that video if you follow the Goodwood YouTube channel. And the crowd was wowed by this thing, and this is an excellent recreation of what exactly did that wowing. The incredible sounds coming out of this machine, and the power delivered to those rear wheels is just ultra impressive. And Chem-Flummi always does a great job with their cars, and this one is no different. You're diving into deep waters when you get into GT3s, but Chem-Flummi was more than up to the task here. Delivered a beautiful old school throwback GT3, which again you can pick up for free just by visiting Chem-Flummi's website. All right, one final sprint to the finish here. And powering up this hill like nothing. Excellent suspension work, by the way, that they've done with this car. It feels great. Oh, what a sound. And into the 133s as well. Wow, what a car. What a car. All right, let's continue on. So we're back in the RSS world now, on board this Mercer. And this is my GOAT. This is what I believe is the greatest GT3 car I have ever driven in sim racing. So if you came to this video looking for what is my number one, probably still this Mercer. There are cars recently released, or more recently released, from URD and RSS that, you know, technologically top this, but I don't think just for pure driving enjoyment, at least for me, anything has topped this Mercer. It is very point and shoot. It's a very honest car. You can keep pushing it, and it's going to almost take anything you throw at it. It doesn't have a hard limit like we see with so many sim racing cars these days. Yeah, it delivers a very honest critique of your driving in real time, and I absolutely love this car. It's bouncy over the curves, a little bit of understeer there, and you know, that's about all you're gonna see. It doesn't really oversteer either, depending on how you have your traction control set, I suppose. But yeah, it's just a very point and shoot, honest car, and just drives so well in so many situations. I love this RSS Mercer, and the fact that this is based on the Mercedes, which has become ubiquitous. I mean, this is the Evo version, but it's more or less unchanged from earlier GT3 days, going back a decade plus. And the longevity of the real world car, I think, is a perfect analog to how I feel about this car. All right, so that is my Mercer. That's my GOAT. And posting the worst time so far. But who cares? This is not about time. This is about enjoyment. All right, what's next? So jumping from something that has proven itself over time to something, or actually to the newest car on this list. This is the Detroit Coyote from United Racing Design, based on the Mustang, and a little slide, actually a big slide through turn one there, but managed to get things back under control. So whereas the Mercer was point and shoot, as a Mustang or Coyote, or call it what you want, requires a little bit more finesse. And the car I'm going to drive next actually requires a lot of finesse, but trust in the fact that this Coyote holds its own and deserves a spot on the list. This is URD's sort of culmination of so many years of mod creation and you know, tying it together here, taking full advantage of the custom shaders patch to deliver onboard systems not unlike a real race car, which is pretty impressive, actually very impressive. And it's not just a demonstration or a prototype of what an Assetto Corsa mod could do. It also comes together very nicely, and it's just a very enjoyable car to drive, period. It's loud, it's fast, it's everything you really want in a race car, period. And again, the culmination of so many years of lessons and so much growth from the URD team. So yeah, great physics on board this thing, great sounds, the skins are unbelievable. And we're gonna come in right around 134. So my questions about, you know, did this fit in with the RSS grid? It more or less does. Maybe a little bit faster, but that could be just tire heating or what have you. All right, let's get on to something, again, lesser known. GT3s in the past have been accused of being boring, but this Reuter Engineering Rex Gallardo, if you will, has nothing in common with that preconception of GT3s. It doesn't drive like those preconceptions. This is a very lively car. This is one of my favorite cars in ACC, actually. Unfortunately, with the BOP, it was never competitive, so I never got to use it. But for the raw sound of that V10 with a very interesting timbre, it sounds different than any other V10 on the grid by a lot, I would say. And yeah, just a beautiful sound. And Chem-Flummi has done a tremendous job bringing this car to life here in Assetto Corsa. But again, just be warned, this drives with more personality. It's more edgy than most GT3s. So if you like something that's a little bit of a challenge, or even if you just like this sound, let's be honest, this could be a car for you. As with all Chem-Flummi cars that I am aware of, this one is free, so why not give it a rip? Like the Camaro, it calls back to a different time in GT3. You will not see this on the grid currently, but definitely a piece of GT3 history, one of the best sounding GT3s of all time. Yeah, you gotta love that. And yeah, such an amazing job that Chem-Flummi has done bringing this to Assetto Corsa. All right, just a couple more cars to go, so let's keep on with the list. I mentioned earlier that the Mercer was my GOAT, but if I was scoring objectively, I think this Lanzo Evo 2 would probably beat that Mercer across most categories. It's an absolutely fantastically well done car by Race Sim Studio. The sounds are perfect. Everything down to the power steering, the paddle shift pump is rendered here in terms of sound. It looks beautiful. It's one of the best looking cars on the grid, on the GT3 grid, in my opinion. That shark fin, I mean, it just looks deadly in that just overall Lambo styling. I mean, this one is soon to be at the end of its life. Lamborghini going a different direction with their GT3 program moving forward. So we'll see this off the grid soon. However, for now, we have that beautiful machine on the real grid and this incredible recreation in Assetto Corsa. Race Sim Studio did such a fantastic job with this. It just is killer. Again, if I was scoring across the board, it's difficult to beat this in any facet. They've done such a tremendous job with this overall. And certainly comes in near the top of my list. Even though I'm not ranking these, I did tell you my favorite. But this Lanzo would be very, very close to that, shall we say. So we're coming up to the end of our lap here. Pulled about a second from our previous best. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be slow. These RSS cars not keeping up with the URD or Chem-Flummi cars. I suspect a lot of that is tire heating. But yeah, very interesting to see the time delta. But yeah, this Lanzo Evo 2, such a phenomenal machine. Love it. So we're going to wrap things up here with this Furiano based on the Ferrari 296 GT3, which is active on the current grid of GT3 cars. And I didn't love when Ferrari went to the turbocharged V6 era of their cars. I'm older. I remember the good old days of V8s, naturally aspirated. Hard to beat those Ferrari sounds. But they went with the 2.9 liter V6 for this 296. And yeah, allowed them to, I guess, get a bit more performance out of this car than they would with a naturally aspirated. And that is what we are saddled with for the current GT3 grid. And what a job Racing Studio has done with this Furiano, recreating that engine and that performance. It's a mid-engine car, of course, but with, I don't know, it doesn't seem to have a lot of the negative characteristics I associate with a mid-engine car. I didn't used to be able to drive mid-engine GT3s at all. Like in my heaviest ACC days, I would always go for the front engine, but yeah, the mid-engine cars have come a long way, and Racing Studio has done a tremendous job recreating that here. Again, not my favorite sounds, but it looks absolutely gorgeous, drives unbelievably well, and yeah, the interior detailing is just fantastic, so highly recommend this car. But that is going to do it, folks. We're going to cross the start-finish line one more time, and that'll be it. So be sure to let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite GT3 car, past or present, real world or in sim? Thanks for watching, drop a comment, and we will see you next time.